also swore to be better than I was. I became a knight radiant.
Alan has once again brought us a wonderful discussion full of spoilers for The Sunlit Man as well as the Stormlight Archive generally. So if you've read those books, please go ahead and go over to his video, watch it in full. He's having a great discussion about auxiliary, deadeyes, and what does it mean to be the spren of a Knight's Radiant. This is one of the great interesting things of the Cosmere is that we keep talking about Kaladin and Teft and Szeth as the Knight's Radiant. I think if Book 4 told us that the Spren were involved in the Recreants, Book 5 and onward are going to reveal that the Spren are not just this auxiliary thing. Auxiliary. Oh, the name is auxiliary! He's not auxiliary. He's a knight. I think that Book 5 and onward is going to show us that the Spren aren't just a power source. They are knights in their own right. And Dallin, you were talking about maybe Maya is beginning to go on this journey herself where she is going to swear the oaths. I mean, we saw her say strength before weakness, at lasting integrity. And I think you're right. The Skybreakers also, as the only order to have maintained themselves from the Recreants to the present day, give us a hint to this. The Recreants killed all the other orders, but the Skybreakers maintained their order. And what did they have as part of their procedure? The Spren maintained the capacity after the third ideal, after the Skybreaker goes on their crusade, for lack of a better term. That is when the Skybreaker's Spren decides, is this something I'm going to commit to? Are you a person that I'm going to continue to be a Spren for? And Auxiliary is a Skybreaker Spren. He's a high Spren. And so what I think he's referring to is that the Spren are Knights Radiant in and of themselves. They are committing to the immortal words, just like a Kaladin or a Szeth or a Teft was. And so we're going to see that, wait a minute, these Spren are in fact knights. And, that should have stood out to anybody reading The Sunlit Man. The whole time, Auxiliary refers to himself as the knight and Sigzil as the squire, right, as the lesser person in the relationship. And I think part of that is because Sigzil had left behind his oaths, and Auxiliary never did. And so Auxiliary still saw himself as a knight radiant. And I think that's going to be the really big paradigm shift that we're going to see going forward, is that the Knights Radiant are the Spren and the human, not just the human. So thanks for that, Dallin. It's not something I'd ever put words to before, but I think you're absolutely right, catching on to something. And I'm looking forward to seeing that come forward in the books.